That's what we'll say. Boy, Kenny, we're the same size. Boy, that camera really has a lot more weight to you than does me. Look at these.
Look how little.
Oh my God. You look like a little tiny boy.
Wow.
It's our son. Come on, son.
Come on, son.
Okay, so we're out here at Marshfield Chevrolet. We're going to do a round table, and we're going to be discussing the 2015 Chevrolet Equinox. Okay, so to get this started, I want to let you know my name is Marty Baker. I'm the sales manager out here for new vehicles. That includes new trucks, new cars. He's got sunglasses up there, which is fine. He didn't have them on at least. We're out here in the country, so we're a little laid back. Got Kenny Catfish Wilkerson and Harold Butch Alcorn with me. They're going to be representing the sales staff. Did you acknowledge folks out there?
I did. I said, hey, what's up, folks?
Did you?
Just
And I missed it?
Just now.
Hey, what's up,
okay.
folks? Just now.
See, Butch got it too. Butch got it too. So
He acknowledged them earlier.
I nodded my head and pointed.
Okay. We got one with the bow tie for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October. You have, where's your?
I had it on every day but today. I didn't wear it today because I couldn't get the fit on there right, so I set it back down on the dresser.
Okay. So anyway, the 2015 Equinox, we got about 7-8 of those in. Real nice vehicle. Didn't do a whole lot of changing. One big thing. What would you think? One big thing, not your list yet, but one.
On the change of the Equinox.
Let me have that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm glad we're stalling in our britches.
I like the 4G LED with the Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, really? Because he just came back and told me, "Oh man, I really like the Wi-Fi. It's faster than ours at the store here."
Right.
And then I wanted him to say it, and he goes, "I don't know."
I got you covered, Kenny.
If you would have said, hey, with the 2500 wreck truck we just got in, what's the Wi-Fi like? I said, man, it's fast. I tried it out.
Yeah.
But
I have to really lead him. I have to lead him all the way. I might as well.
The same speed in Equinox.
I might as well just say it and see if I got to lead him that far along the line. Okay,
it would
so
have been so much easier if you just said, man.
another thing that's kind of new, but they started it in 14, and this is really, I've got them to pull a list of 5 things that they like about the Equinox, but one thing that they've added in 14 and carried on in 15 is a 2-year, 24,000 maintenance program. So it's going to really basically make the first 2 years of that vehicle cost-free.
And the beauty of that is it adds to the 5-year, 100,000 mile highest in its class powertrain warranty, which is another great feature of that car.
Because where does our next door neighbor over here, Ford, end off on their
They end off
powertrain
at
warranty?
60,000 miles.
Is it 5 years?
It is 5 years, 60,000 miles.
So they expect everybody not to drive their vehicles too much.
10,000.
Okay.
Just a little over 10,000 miles a year is what they're expecting. I mean, I live pretty close to here, and I drive 15 to 20
More than
a
that,
year.
so it's kind of unrealistic. But then we got the roadside assistance for that 5 year, 100,000 miles, which basically, it's not truly a road hazard coverage, but they're going to come out and they'll jump your car, right?
Yep.
Change the tire.
They'll change the tire for you, get you towed in if it's
Bring gas. That's the law.
just get you off the side of the road.
Yep.
So if you're a traveling person and your significant other is going to be at home, and you want to make sure they're not having to be out on the side of the road doing stuff, it just helps your daughter or your son, driving. You don't have to worry. Just a little bit of peace of mind there.
A friend of mine that I sold a 214 Equinox to, he was in Arkansas on a new job, just started, been 2 weeks of new job, and his wife needed a tire change on the side of the road, and she called me, and we called roadside service, and within 15 minutes she was back on the road going to work. So she was taking to death.
And that's the service in action right there.
Yeah,
So
I had a similar one on the Sonic I'd sold to a girl who was going to college, and she broke down on her way to South Carolina going to college, and they picked her up, towed her to the GM dealership there close by, and they got her back on the road.
okay.
That's all good.
And it gives you peace of mind.
Yeah.
That's what they offer that for. Another thing, just as we're on warranty, I've heard people say, and even commercials from other manufacturers dig at the warranty and say, well, are you buying a car or are you buying a warranty? Well, they don't just throw warranties on without knowing how much they're going to have to spend. So they did a cost analysis of, okay, over 100,000 miles in 5 years, how much would we have to spend if we did decide to cover this stuff? And they knew it wasn't going to be much. So that tells me that GM knows that they're building a quality vehicle, that when they put it out on the road, they wouldn't be offering that warranty if they thought they were going to have to spend a lot of money. So yes, you're buying a quality car, but you're also buying peace of mind knowing that if something does happen, it's going to be taken care of. So I just wanted to get that answer. So back to the Equinox. How many trim levels does the 2015 Equinox come in?
Well, they're offering an LS, the LT1 and LT2, and the LTZ packaging, which is a 1 and a 2 LTZ as well.
Okay. And how many powertrains are they offering?
We offer 2 powertrains, which is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, and then the 3.6 liter V6.
And that 3 that V6, it's a 301 horsepower. And again, there's another standard that's highest in any of the SUVs out there. It's the highest output of horsepower in any SUV out there.
And are you
that says a
stuck in-
lot. Says a lot when you're towing a 3,500 pound.
Oh, yeah.
Sea-Doo or Bolt or basketball
Yeah.
or something like that. You want the best power you can
Well,
get.
we do have our Equinox with the V6 all-wheel drive package. Does have the highest trailer weights out there.
In
on
its
that-
class.
that class.
So you're not just stuck with the front wheel drive, you
No,
can get the
you can
all-wheel
get an
drive.
all-wheel drive.
In 4 or 6 cylinders.
And 4 yeah, in both.
And it
which is
changes the
pretty
gas
impressive.
mileage about what, two
About
to
two,
three
3 miles per
miles a
gallon per engine.
Yep, per engine.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got an entry-level vehicle,
Yep.
okay,
Which is the
in the
LS.
LS, and then we have intermediate trims in the 1LT, 2LT,
Yep.
and then on the 2LT, can you get cloth?
You can, yes.
That's your, and then you have the upgrade
Then you have the
availability,
upgrade available
but you
leather.
can't do leather in the 1LT.
Cannot do leather in the 1LT.
But you can do the all-wheel drive in the entry-level one.
In the LS, you can, in the
Yeah,
1LS front-wheel drive, you can do an all-wheel drive.
Yep.
It's the 4-cylinder. The 1LT starting with the 6-cylinder,
Yep.
all the way up to the LCZ with available in front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 4-cylinder, or
V6.
or the
From the
V6.
LT up.
Okay, so what it does, it opens up the budget. It
Yeah.
opens it up for any level of pocketbook.
It does.
With that one, I don't know where we're going to be at bottom line.
I want to say something too about this all-wheel drive compared to the front-wheel drive. My daughter personally bought a new 2014 front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And she travels all 5 states here around Springfield, Missouri, all 5 states in her sales job for a manufacturer rep. Travels all winter long, all conditions to Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, Arkansas, Nebraska, and of course Missouri, and has never, ever, ever been in trouble with the front-wheel drive.
And I've had a lot of
that's really
similar
good.
people telling me their front-wheel drives are getting around a lot better than they expected
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
But a lot of that is the way GM designed that. They actually put the engine a little bit forward of that front axle, so all your engine weight's going down, which allows for maximum traction. And the help of our stability control traction control feature on there that cuts that power and applies the torque.
Yeah.
When it does start slipping, just kind of helps pull it through.
Yeah.
So that's
The only thing, whenever you're considering whether you need all-wheel drive over the front-wheel drive, to me, is when you're going to be getting into a situation of maybe possibly high centering, where the other wheels would give you the extra push to get over something.
Maybe more climb.
And that's the
More
only
climb.
time, and a little bit more climb. Maybe if you're pulling a small boat,
Yep.
then you need out of the boat ramp or something like that.
Yeah.
But in most cases, just normal driving, unless you're the city comes and piles a big old load of snow up in front of your driveway that you're gonna have to go out there and shovel through. If it's not gonna get high centered, that front wheel drive, it just pulls through about anything.
Well, probably one of the most important things that the customers that I have that have the all-wheel drive, they like it because they don't have to tell the car when to
put
go
it
into
forward,
four-wheel
yeah.
drive. That's probably the most troublesome with most women and some men too. We all have the same thought pattern. Do I need four-wheel drive now? Do I not need four-wheel drive now?
Yeah.
And with the all-wheel drive, it automatically feels a slip. I believe it's what 1/300th of a second.
Yeah.
It's very
Lock
quick,
it on.
quicker than I can think, and it will literally apply power to the other tires or wheels that may need.
And it also applies braking, so it's not just about the
Yeah.
power. It brakes the wheels that need to be broke, to keep you from sliding out of control or whatever. So the all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, we have it for both cases. We've got all-wheel drives in stock. We've got front-wheel drives. We've got 4 cylinders. We've got 6 cylinders. We've got it all in stock right now.
Oh, good packages.
Also, I've had them both prepare a list of 5 things that they kind of liked about the Equinox. So, what's number 5 on your list?
Number 5 on my list is in the LT and LTZ. They come with what they call a rear programmable lift gate. That's for people that park in a garage or people like my wife that's vertically challenged. You can actually program this lift gate to where it only opens up 3/4 of the way, or it opens up all the way. That way, if you're parking in a garage, it's not going to hit the roof. Or if you're having a hard time reaching the handle, you can set it where you can reach it. You can you pull it down.
Now that comes in the 2LT on up, 2LT on up in classes. And to go along with that same power convenient package, that comes in, there's a universal home remote feature in that package that comes along.
So are you on number 5 of yours?
I'm on number 5.
And it just happened to tie in?
The same one, so they tied in together, so I thought we ought to talk about them.
And what else is in
Same
there?
way.
And then in the 1LT, you can get the remote vehicle start, which is a real nice package. When you sit outside and have to start the car when it's cold or hot before work, it'll run about 12 minutes, and you'll do that twice in order to get your car warmed up if you leave all the right switches on. And any more than that, they don't want the children to keep playing with it. The remote started too many times. And then it also comes with the 8-way power seat in the 1LT on the driver's side, and that driver convenient package.
Which that's folks, it puts the power backrest in there and the power long.
So on the 1LT...
And now in the 15, something that we may not have talked about, it also puts a power seat in the passenger side.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah, that's a real nice.
On the driver convenience package?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a 1LT. Does it get
The remote vehicle start.
power seat on both sides?
Yes.
It gets the remote start,
With the power convenient package.
power convenience package, but you have to go up to the 2LT
To get the universal home
program.
remote and the power programmable lift that you talked about.
Okay, and on the LTZ, the programmable goes to standard.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what do you have as number 4 on yours?
I have the convenience that we talked about, the 4-cylinder or the V6, the power of the hood, which on the V6 gets you 0 to 60, 6.7 seconds, which really
for a family
for
SUV,
a family
that's
SUV.
a little faster than most people would need.
That's correct. And that
You have a note there, 301 horsepower. What is the fuel on that?
That's a monster with
what's
the
the
highest power available in the V6 in its class. That exact fuel mileage I remember is
On the front wheel drive it is at 25, and on the all wheel drive it's at 24.
That's correct. On the highway, and it's 17.
So that's a V6.
That's correct.
It's a V6,
That's 17 and 16.
And then the 4-cylinder, since we're talking about power plants.
It's 32 on the highway,
and then 23 in the city.
23 in the city, and it drops to 22 in the city, and down to 29 on the all-wheel drive.
And what's the torque on that 4-cylinder?
The torque on the 4-cylinder, I believe, is at 235.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Which is
Correct.
that
a lot.
that gets up.
And people that don't understand that, torque is what gets you moving, and horsepower keeps you moving.
Keeps you moving.
So it's real important to remember that when you see torque on something, torque you want a torque because torque actually is what gets you moving, propels the vehicle,
and keeps you.
and horsepower keeps you
just maintains you there at your highway speeds.
At the best economy, best fuel economy.
Okay. So number 3.
Number 4.
Oh, number 4 on your
Four
list.
for me is the availability in the LT of the 7-inch MyLink color touchscreen radio that applies to Bluetooth. We've added that 7-inch MyLink touchscreen radio with that Bluetooth on there. When they put this radio system in these cars, that took our Bluetooth system to the whole new level of Bluetooth systems. So now, when we hook a phone up, when we hook your phone up to this thing, it downloads your entire phone book into the radio. And from that point on, it's a voice-operated phone for calling. You push the button and give the command call, and the name that's in your phone book, and it dials that phone number.
How many phones can you hook?
You can hook up to 10 in this thing. Yeah, up to 10. Now, only one will operate at a time. But
Correct.
You can hook up to 10 and switch back and forth. And also, with that MyLink radio, XM satellite radio, Sirius XM, has added what they call the Travel Link in there, which gives you 3 apps. You have a fuel station app, which whenever you push it, when your XM's activated, it'll give you a listing of closest gas stations, the cheapest price, and where they are directional from you. And you can select that and it'll bring the phone number up for you to call.
That's correct.
It comes with a movie theater app, so if you're on the go somewhere and you want to stop and catch a movie.
My wife loves that.
I know, it's great. You can click on that, find the close movie theater, see what's showing, see what times are, and you actually call them and purchase tickets right there. And then it also comes with a weather app. This is probably by far my favorite. Touch that weather app, it gives you an instant forecast. You can do a 5-day forecast, and you can also see what the weather's like where you're going.
And for a lot of people that take these all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive Equinoxes to the ski slopes, it'll actually give you ski conditions in the area that you're skiing, and that's real nice when you're around Breckenridge or Vail or Telluride. You can get the actual conditions there and know what the best days to be on top of
The way the Farmer's Almanac's telling us this year, we may be doing it around here.
Yeah, that's great.
The weather app, if you have nav, will actually calculate the time that you're hitting through that area, what the weather's going to be, not just what the current weather is. So it's a nice
And that's
little
something you get
feature.
that LTZ back.
That's correct.
So that's a nice little, the technology and the ease of the technology with the MyLink system is what's so attractive on it. I've had people trade our competitors in just because they couldn't understand the technology on it.
Yeah.
I had the competitors come over once in a while and they have the car they bought before they met me. They knew I was in the car business,
Yeah.
and they really come in and say, "Butch, can you help me figure out how
Figure this out,
to
yeah.
figure it out?" And have taken that and actually show them and work with it and show them, and then literally come back in within 6 months and trade that car in for one of our
For one of
cars,
ours,
and just was so tickled to death that we knew all the other technologies pretty well as well as our own.
I was actually reading a deal on, I think it was on Car and Driver's website, where they put, since the intelligent radios that's been coming out, they actually put the top 4 systems head to head to each other and put people that knew nothing about them, older people, young people that knew nothing, had no technology, and the guys that had technology, and ours was 3 to 1 easier to operate.
That's what I've read that too. It's good that we talk about technology because that happened to be my next deal is it offers a lot of technology. It's not just in one area. It's not just for one person. It's not just for one type of person. It's for the young kids with all the different with Pandora and Stitchers.
Staying
and all
connected through their phone.
And we and through the Wi-Fi and 4G, we can connect up to 7 devices in that area.
Yeah,
So
through
we
that
can
Wi-Fi.
have Tommy and Sally and Linda all playing their games in different ways, and me and you could be doing our business, and me and wife can be doing business. And so it gives it's not just for one person, it's for the whole family, for all ages, young and old. It's not just for, you'll find that some of the young people like some of the younger stuff, well, some of the older people like some of the older stuff, and they can each work whatever parts of that. And that technology is nice.
Right before we did this, I went down to a 15 3/4 ton. We just got in and hooked my phone up to the Wi-Fi to see how fast it was. I sat there and watched about 3 YouTube videos, just jacking around with them. And it run quick. I mean, I think it run faster than our store's Wi-Fi setup when we got our laptops hooked up.
Well, on technology, what's not personally I like about it, but a feature that makes it likable for most people is that you can do it all through touchscreen.
Yeah.
Or you can do it through hard buttons.
You got the buttons there too, so
it's
you don't have
and the
to.
DIC, which is the Driver Information Center,
Yeah.
is controlled through the steering wheel buttons. Also, you can do them through the MyLink.
buttons on the
So
MyLink,
and there's different levels. Like I was brought up with more, it was technology, but it was all button keys.
Yeah, button
and
keys or
then the
button knobs.
people that were brought up on the iPhone and the touch screens, they have that availability. So they basically stay connected to what they like the feel of.
Yeah.
And and also they brought back, they had this for a while, they had the text where all your text showed up. They took that away because of all the scare with texting and stuff and taking your attention away. Now texting is back. I don't know if it's on all MyLink systems or just the Silverados, but we'll have to look.
It's voice text now.
Voice text.
So you can push the button and say send text, and it will say what you want to text, and it will text it. Now, if it's something that the system feels is unsafe, it will actually tell you can't do it at that time, which is what's pretty cool about that. And it basically takes it to where if you put a child in the car driving, 16-year-old, 18-year-old college kid, whatever, their phone stays in their pocket.
That's correct.
They don't have
Eyes
to
on
take
the
it out.
road.
Eyes on the road.
Hands
Everything
on the
they
road.
need to do is a push button on the steering wheel, and that's awesome.
And we talk about technology. I went through the Garmins, I went through the TomToms.
Yeah.
Our navigation that goes right with this same system is so easy, so nice. You can put cross streets, you can put so much stuff more in there that even a 73-year-old man and woman absolutely love that. I showed them how to use that, and they've been to Florida twice in one. I didn't think they was any kind of tech savvy at all, and they literally come back and said that was the sweetest, nicest part of that trip, because she could put in cross streets, addresses, everything, destinations. It gave a lot of destinations that they wanted to go see when they got in an area, and my
Preloaded them for 'em.
My TomTom and Garmin will do it, but only in certain degrees. It literally makes my TomTom and Garmin, now my TomTom's newer than my Garmin, it makes it adequate now for that.
Yeah.
And
obsolete
that's
basic
all
technology.
part of that one package. That radio does all that stuff, and it's just
And I
it's
tell
so
you,
sweet.
the cool thing about our navigation system, and of course everyone knows we have OnStar in our cars, and most everybody in the world knows what the benefit of OnStar is being able to call them, and part of that is their navigation. Well, with our new systems we've got now, you can actually download a app on your phone called the Remote Link app, and select it and hook it up to your car, and put your address into your phone, and it will send it to your navigation system. Which is, that's amazing.
And the hard navigation, it went down from like 2,500 when the
Oh,
Equinox
yeah,
first came out,
yeah.
2,900,
Yeah.
and it's 795.
$795 now.
And
That's
that
because
gets you
it's an app.
tie the highest technology of any one of these.
And if you're in a certain area, it's like he was like, if you're down in Florida, down in Orlando, it pulls up points of interest.
Right there.
Okay, POIs, points of interest, and if you want to go to one, it's a one-button selection now. You don't have to go through.
You don't have to
program
it takes
it
you
in.
from where you're sitting to
gas
where you're
station.
going with estimated time of arrival and
Everything.
miles. And
It's almost like pulling up your own personal map.
Yeah,
What's in your car.
It almost comes down to having to see it and experience it and
Yeah,
appreciate
and
it.
it
So,
does.
so anytime you want
somebody
to, come
my
on
age,
out and
60
see
years
us.
old and above, we're not very tech savvy, you know, and that makes it easy for us. You know,
Yeah.
you guys,
I know.
30 years.
Every day, hey, Kenny, come over here and show me how to work this thing on my computer.
And I can really get in that car and
Okay, so we
enjoy
could
it.
talk forever
Yeah.
on technology.
Yeah.
What's number 3 on yours?
Number
'Cause
3.
You hit your 4th one,
I hit
right?
my third one.
Third one.
Yeah.
So you
Number
worked your
3
way.
on mine is, we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but it's the StabiliTrak, electronic stability control, and our traction control. We kind of went over our traction control a little bit, but the StabiliTrak's connected to that as well. And with the StabiliTrak, what that does for you is if you're driving down the road, and let's say you hit a spot of ice, and the car starts sliding, your StabiliTrak will kick in. It cuts power to the motor and will apply braking to the tires that are slipping to help keep the four wheels lined up with each other to keep it from rolling over. Not 100% chance you're not going to roll it over, but it helps a lot. One of the guys that worked here hit a patch of flood on 44, and he said first thing he remembered was looking at the trees in the ditch, and whenever he remembered next, the car slowed down and he couldn't get it under control to stop it. And that's because of the stability.
You know, and it's real simple. When you go around the corner with this, ready to
Yeah.
shine, slicker wet, you know, and you're steering this way, it applies torque to this. If the car starts to go this way, it applies torque to this wheel and braking to this
Brake,
wheel, whatever
yeah.
it takes to
So that-
follow
follow
that.
each other, yeah.
Because we know no matter what kind of technology we put in this car, you're probably just a little quicker and a little sharper and you know where you want to go.
Yeah.
There's other circumstances out there that may be trees, ditches, or something, and you may want to go this way to avoid it,
Yeah.
and it will let you do that. and
Yeah,
help
you
do
still
that.
have complete control of the steering.
That's what-
You just can't accelerate it.
That's right.
And you can brake it all you want. You just can't accelerate it. It cuts the power from the
Yeah,
motor.
that's a technology that works, and you don't even know it's happening.
Yeah.
It just does it for
It
you.
Kind of like
Yeah.
ABS braking. Since day one, I put 4 or 5 bumpers on new Suburbans because I could never stop them. I kept running stuff, and now that the ABS braking's in all
Oh,
cars,
yeah.
and you can steer around anything you
Yeah.
want to do, and it's taking it from
Still have control over the
from
steering
Stone
and
Age up
braking.
now to the.
Okay, what's your number 2?
Number two is, you know, you're talking SUV, you're talking good gas mileage, you're talking all the conveniences, but it's still very spacious. It's very spacious for the rear passengers. You know, the cockpit's about the same as all
Yeah.
cars, but it's very spacious for the rear passengers and for the cargo area. You know, you have the sliding rear seat that travels up to 8 inches. You have, which allows you up to 39.9 inches of legroom. Again, highest in its class. You know, that's real important in an SUV because that type of person, you know, they haul stuff, they buy stuff, they take stuff other places, they go different places, and you need the availability to have some flexibility. And then when you do travel with somebody, they want to be comfortable also, and so I give you that.
Well, what I like about the rear seat travel is that if you have somebody in there, you can put it all the way back to give the extra room. And if you don't, you can put it all the way forward to have the room with the seats folded down to it actually increases your
Yeah.
cargo area. You know, it's just amazing what thought they put in that. And is there any other vehicle in its class, or whether it's in its class or not, that has a real
You know,
rear trap?
I know the
Trap.
RAV4 does it, the Honda CRV does it, those are 2 cars
the
in this
Ford,
class.
the Ford Edge does have a tractor that's on 4-inch movement.
So we got 8, right?
Yeah, we got 8.
inches.
It actually-
And where does the seat hit you? You're a pretty tall guy.
You know,
Does
this is-
it
You've been
hits
pushed
me?
all the way up there, I'm good, you know. but-
No, not as far as how much room, but behind your leg. Is there? It almost goes up to your knees,
All to my
doesn't it?
knees, yeah.
And that,
Which
again,
makes it feel so much more
when you
comfortable.
travel.
You don't get that. You don't get that cup.
And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if they lay forward, but they also lay back, and I don't know
Yeah,
how
they
many
were-
degrees,
they
but
were
it lays
reclining.
well,
It's not enough
I can
really,
pillow-
but it's just
well, my
enough to
daughter's
get you
car, I
to
can just
sleep.
pillow back there and I can lay
Yeah.
back.
It's, you're not
Just
just
enough
you're
to
not
relax
sitting
your
straight up
back.
like this where you can't sleep a little
I
bit
can get a
back
little pillow
there.
back there and get a little nap.
Little-
Dad
just
likes
enough
taking
for a
nap.
little shut eye.
Dad likes taking a nap in the backseat.
Marty, I know you accused us of going together over there when we're doing our list, but my number 2 is the multi-flex sliding rear seat.
Yeah.
No, it's
Great
good.
minds-
It's good,
great
right?
minds think alike. Great minds
That's
think
one of
alike.
my favorite things about that. My main reason I like that is for the fact I've got 2 small children. And when we go to the grocery store, we stock up for weeks.
On the way.
You know,
Hibernation time.
Not because the kids. it's
Hey,
because of-
I gotta have an
because of
excuse.
that, okay.
But I mean, we could put the kids in the back seat of this thing, slide the seat forward, and turn it from 59 cubic feet, 59 cubic feet to 64 cubic feet. by sliding that seat forward.
And do you buy a lot of
Still-
cubics when you're at the?
I do buy a lot of cubics.
But-
You would be surprised how many cubics I have to buy when I go to the grocery store.
those donuts also equate to
Yeah,
cubics.
yeah. How many sugar glazed donuts fit in a cubic foot?
He don't know,
I'm gonna say-
because he eats
I'm
it
gonna
before they
say
get in
about
there.
23.
He don't know, he gets the heats before he gets.
I love buying a box of Krispy Kreme. I just don't
do,
like
man.
throwing that empty box away. That's
I just
a,
pile them in the back. That's how we measure the back seat space.
Let me give my very first thought on the deal was gas mileage. You know, we can talk about gas mileage in cruises. We can talk about Malibus. We can talk about Impalas. They're all excellent. But when you can get 32 miles a gallon, and it will actually get that. My daughter, like I say, travels with them every day,
Yeah.
and she says, Dad, I get up to 32 all the time on the highway on my 4-cylinder SUV, and there's not an SUV out there, and she packs it full of
Oh, yeah.
of a lot
I've
of
seen her come in here with it.
and she drives top speed, you
Yeah.
know. She said that I'll add 28, 29, 30 just no matter how I want to drive it. So
Yeah.
that's real important when gas is $3 plus a gallon.
That's great. My number one thing, we have a rear suspension. It's a multi-link independent suspension with a hydraulic bushing system. And the reason I like that is because it takes this smaller SUV and makes it ride like the big cars. They just float down the road. When you take the corners, it cuts bottom.
What's that stuff
roll
called
out.
again? Because my daughter always said it rides good. What's that?
It is. It's called
Hydraulic
multi-link.
bushings.
It's the
Hydraulic
hydraulic
bushings.
bushings.
Okay, good,
But the
good.
multi-link gives you that 7.5,
Okay.
8-inch wheel travel. So when you go in the corners, you get one wheel that tucks, the other wheel lifts, and it takes the body roll out. So you don't feel the car going around the corner.
Here in the Ozarks and in the hills
Oh,
and hollows,
yeah.
we have a lot of curves
Yeah.
and curves and ups and downs.
You get down there in the
I didn't know what
Ozarks,
it
and
was
it's,
called.
you know, and that rear suspension to me is one of the greatest things that we've put on a vehicle, just for the fact that it's smooth. It makes a long trip a pleasure because you're not riding in a lumber wagon. You know, that's just the plain and simple truth of it. It smooths that thing.
Sum all this up for us, Marty. Tell us
well,
what you
some of
think.
what's so great about not just the Equinox, but with the Chevrolet product line, is all the stuff that's happening that you don't even know is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
I didn't know
all
that
the
was
stuff,
happening. Yeah.
all the stuff that goes on that is going to be there to save your life. It's going to be there to save you money. That's going to be there, you know, to
More comfort?
just the comfortable, the peace of mind that you experience while driving it that you don't even know is happening.
Yeah.
Like sitting
The
in front
hidden
of living rooms a lot of
technology.
times.
You
Yeah,
know?
and you've got all the equipment there, you know. that-
Working for you.
Yeah.
Safety with the airbag.
With
Well,
the safety on our cars.
Here's a prime example. On our 4-cylinder, we have a hidden technology that if you don't have a salesperson that knows anything about it in the rear, there's actually a speaker that puts out a frequency that is the same frequency as the noise that comes off of a 4-cylinder at the high pitch, the whining, you know, you've all hit it, oh, it's just a whiner, and it actually cancels that out, and
Yeah.
there is no sound from it.
Yeah.
And you don't even know it's happening. It's a noise cancellation speaker, and it
Just on the left side, back on the left side.
until
on the
you
right side.
experience it, you would never believe what the car sounded like with it and without it.
If
But
it ever goes out, you definitely know it. But since you brought that up, that actually throws in a 100-watt amplifier for our radio system, which gives us crisp, clean sound coming out of our speakers too at the same time. Yeah.
so
It's all
to
packaged.
try to put the big bow around all this, guys, there's a lot of information about
Yeah.
the Equinox. The best thing you can do is come out and see either Kenny Catfish or Harold Butch. You can ask for Buck, you can ask for Butch, you can ask for Catfish.
Kenny.
Just ask for the guy in the blue shirt and the big belly,
Yeah.
and you
Find one.
somebody will answer up.
Yeah.
But
We'll find one of us.
they will take extreme care of you. They'll show you the cars. If you need it to, they'll bring it to you.
Yep.
If you're within reason, if you're in Louisiana, unless
Probably.
it's
Unless we get a fishing, unless we get a fishing.
Oh yeah,
trip
take a fishing
planned
pole,
out.
we'll go anywhere.
That's right.
come out, see us, have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about how we can get you into a new Equinox or any one of our model lineup we have out here at Marshfield Chevrolet. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully you got something out of this, and we'll talk to you all real soon.
Take care.
See ya.
Tell you what? Oh, I didn't have this on.
Oh.